Hey, Security Token Market. I'm joined right now with Pat LaVecchia, who's the founder and CEO of Oasis Pro Markets. So, Pat, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Kyle. It's a pleasure being here.
So we're
fantastic.
Yeah, this is a great event. We've had some fantastic networking opportunities here. And Oasis Pro Markets, let's talk a little bit about what your company is doing and bringing to market.
Sure. So Oasis Pro Markets is a broker-dealer. We have been gone through the process, and we have an ATS, an alternative trading system, for digital securities. We're approved for fixed income, asset-backed securities, equities, public OTC, over-the-counter, SEC registered for closed-end mutual funds, private funds, and we're going down approvals for derivatives and swaps as well. The differentiator between us and other ATSs is we are approved for digital cash for digital security transactions. What does that mean? Stable coins, CBDCs when they become available, central bank digital currencies, or digitized cash. You could utilize that to transact with digital security.
Fantastic. So this is exciting. So you're in the final stages of preparing for launch, right? When can we expect to start to see some of these assets come into market?
Great. Thank you for that question. So end of fourth quarter, we have about a dozen or so issuers ready to go. And yeah, we're very excited about it. We're just fine-tuning some aspects because we can do fiat as well. You know, if for whatever reason certain subscribers, investors want to use fiat, but with the digital cash for digital securities transactions, and with the announcement we had just recently with Anchorage, we can do T+0 settlement.
That's awesome.
Today.
Wow. Okay. So for the clients that you're going to be bringing to market, soon, are those going to be primary offering deals, and then eventually after a Reg D 12-month lockup, then they will list on the secondary side?
Yeah. Some Reg Ds, 144s.
Okay.
Reg 8 plus. We're also talking to over-the-counter public companies.
Oh, cool.
Fixed income, immediately tradable.
Okay.
ABS, we're talking to some ABS potential issuers. That would be immediately tradable. Only the equities have that limitation.
Okay. Fascinating. So you're going to come to market potentially with a wide basket of different types of asset classes, which I think also is a very unique, come-to-market strategy.
Yeah, that's a very good observation because there are many that are very focused in a vertical, like early stage or equities only, and we're at the very early stages. This might be the first inning for digital securities, and we're not smart enough to know what the tipping point's going to be, what securities are going to take off. And very similar to crypto from 5 years ago. Who knew where ETH would be and Bitcoin versus some of the other tokens that came out? So in regards to digital securities, our approach is we have all these licenses, which is very difficult to get. And we're going to offer the spectrum. And then when it becomes obvious where that tipping point is, where the investors and the issuers really want to focus on, we can jump into that space.
So I want to pivot the conversation a little bit to you and your background. So you, I think, have a very unique perspective on this industry because of the work and the time you spent with Maker and some of these other blockchain-based applications. Can you talk a little bit about that and the influence it's going to have on Oasis?
Oh, great. Thank you. Well, Maker was an experience, a fantastic experience. That's a DeFi, Maker DAO, DeFi, old granddaddy,
of course,
right? Yeah. So my background is banking, investment banking. So I'm a Wall Street guy. I was at Bear Stearns. I ran a group. I ran groups at Credit Suisse. I ran a group at a couple other institutions, well known. And I got into crypto 4 years ago. About 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, Maker and I got together, and I started working with Maker in a variety of different areas. And Maker is a collateralization pool, and they're very focused on real-world assets to be in the DeFi space. What's more real-world than digital securities?
Right.
So it's very exciting. The Maker Foundation is being dissolved. It's about to be dissolved. But that whole community, et cetera, is part of our strategy going forward. So we built our entire ATS with approvals, regulatory compliance forward.
Wow.
We will have an on-off ramp to a MakerDAO ecosystem. collateralization of your digital securities, and then you can take stablecoin out. Or AMMs, like a Uniswap, a Sushi Swap, to create market making for certain securities. So that's our vision, and that's where we're heading. And our entire technology base has been built so that our platform would allow for that on and off ramp.
I think that's fascinating. I had a chance to speak here at the conference, and one of the exciting things that I was preaching about tokenization to a lot of the traditional issuers and asset owners here at the conference was this opportunity to leverage a lot of this crypto and blockchain infrastructure that's been pioneered with the benefit of not operating as regulated asset managers and applying those same things to the securities industries, and so I'd love to just dive into that a little bit more. Obviously, none of this is legal advice. None of this is this is totally not any of those pieces. But from a collateralization perspective, do you see that being something that will require additional licensure, or is that something that could potentially be provided by a firm like yours that's already a broker and has some of those pieces?
So that's an interesting question. It's a great area.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, it's all right. It's a great area. It's more of an education issue,
okay,
in my opinion. We're approved for so many things that if you can get the regulators comfortable that the collateral is not at risk, then
you prove the concept of the trading side first, and then figure it out from there.
Exactly.
And maybe the same question applies for automated market makers.
Yep.
But do you see that kind of being a potential pivot away from traditional market making?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've spoken to a number of the traditional market makers. There are 3 very large ones here in the US, but there are many global. And they see an advantage to AMMs themselves because they can participate in an AMM pool.
Right.
So I think it's a natural progression.
And it incentivizes long-term holding as well, right?
Exactly.
As investors will stake in their
exactly.
assets.
We've also spent a lot of time with the regulators on both these topics. So I think we've come. I feel very confident we're getting to a solution.
Well, I mean, that's all fantastic stuff. I'm sure that many of the people watching would love to hear more of your perspective on some of those things, maybe through a guest article or a follow-up interview when there's more information available and some of these concepts are a little more thought out from both sides. But, Pat, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you, Pat.
Where can people that are viewing get more information on what you're launching and your platform?
Our ATS is called Oasis Pro.
Okay.
So that's our brand name, Oasis Pro.
OATS?
OATSPRO.
Okay.
Oasis Pro.
Oasis Pro.
And we have a website. Frankly, it's not great, but it's going to be upgraded.
Getting there?
Yeah,
It's getting
exactly.
there?
Oasis Pro Markets.
Okay.
We're coming out with a lot of press releases over the next several months, a lot of partnership announcements, eventually issuer announcements. So you can go to our website and subscribe, and then automatically get all our press releases as they come out. So if anyone's interested, that would be great. Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. We have social media as well.
Great, yeah, so follow all of their platforms, and you better believe all that great press is going to be covered on the Security Token Show. So with that, Pat, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right.